There are two problems with most multi-day backpacks. Either they focus on cutting weight and therefore aren't able to carry larger loads on trail, or you'll find backpacks that have higher load-bearing ratings, but they themselves are also very heavy in their construction. But there are a few backpacks out there attempting to cut weight while still giving us good load-bearing capability. And that's why when I discovered the big Agnes Parkview 63L backpack, I knew I wanted to take it out on my next backpacking trip, because at just about 4 pounds for the large and just under for the medium frame build, it has the load-bearing capability of up to 50 pounds. And as a gear reviewer and videographer, I carry a lot more equipment than the average backpacker, so my pack ends up weighing around 42 pounds when I hit the trail. So I want to invite you guys along with me on my recent backpacking trip as we discover what the capabilities of this pack are, and there are a few awesome features that have been integrated into this design, but there's also one design characteristic that really took it down a few notches in likability for me that I'll share with you. So let's unpack this pack and see what its capabilities and limitations are, and discover together whether or not it would be the right choice for you. I'm Aaron, this is Gideon's Tactical. Let's dive on in. Guys, that trip was just amazing and had some stunning views. And you know, the gear gets us there, but it is the experiences with loved ones and just connecting with creation that really make going out into the wilderness so worthwhile. Now, we're gonna jump in with the load-bearing capability and the suspension, the yoke, the belt, because that's where some of the best attributes in this pack lie, but also where the one major hang-up and issue I have in the design as well. Now, with the hip belt, this is a really well-designed hip belt. This is actually, I'm gonna say it, my favorite hip belt I've tested so far through over a decade of testing backpacks in a multi-day backpack, because it's very dense foam, contoured well, but it has a cut in to cut down on weight, but also allows it to contour and hug better to your hip. So this is like one of the best hip hugging belts, if you will, on a backpack that I've ever used. It has really good straps to pull towards you to tighten down, so you can really dial this thing in and cinch it down. It has removable pockets on either side that are lightweight mesh, so if you want to cut down on some weight or you want to attach a different style of pouch here, you can do that. Otherwise, you can use them, and they're very large. You can get medium-sized smartphones in here, as well as like a full trails day's worth of snacks. Now, the one feature that I absolutely love are these two compression straps on the back here. You can disconnect them, which then allows you to, outside of your hip pack, attach larger, heavier items like, say, a survival knife or bear spray or a sidearm. So for those of you who do trek in like bear country, that I found to be very useful, and you could easily get a paddle-based, bear gun attached to that, as well as your bear spray or other things you want quick access to. And it's very intuitive in a way that most other packs that I own just have never been able to accomplish. You usually have that like dedicated pocket, it gets in the way of all that stuff, and then you're trying to figure out where I have something I want to get quick access to on trail, where do I attach it? And so this allows for that in an awesome way. So hip belt is amazing. Going into a rigid polymer backer is what the support system is. So it's contoured to your body, has super dense foam points all throughout. It didn't fatigue my back in any way, so it was keeping it off of my back. It has a good flow through channel, and because of the way the polymer is, you're kind of offset from it a little bit, so you get a little bit of flow through, which is good versus just like a slick flat back, you know, that you sometimes get, particularly with ultralight packs tend to do that. And that flows right into the yoke, which is really dense. Again, designed to help carry those heavier loads with good load lifters, good feeders for your hoses, and then a sliding sternum strap. I prefer a ladder system where you tier it where you want it and then it doesn't move. It did slide around on me from time to time, but that was a compromise that I was willing to make because of the way the rest of the yoke system was operating, feeling so comfortable at such a heavy load. Now, I'm about to share with you the one major issue I have with this yoke system and how you can overcome it. But you may be curious how we were able to communicate in a group on trail without any cell phone coverage, particularly on day 2 when some of us wanted to go up fishing up at the lake and some of us wanted to stay back at camp. How were we able to know everything was all right and when people were coming back and communicate? Well, it was with our pair of Rocky talkies that I've been using now, guys, for over 2 years in all kinds of environments all over America, literally, and it continues to impress me, and that's why they're today's sponsor. So I can personally attest to the excellent capability that these Rocky Talkies have in very rugged terrain here in the Rocky Mountains, as well as other environments across the country. Campsite, do you copy?
I copy you loud and clear. I'm standing right next to your tent right now.
We're gonna leave now, so we'll be down in about 30 minutes.
Okay, go to that big giant log on your left when you're crossing the river. It's a lot easier.
Okay, sweet. And guys, that's just scratching the surface of the capabilities and features that the Rocky Talkie radios offer. So I'll have a link in the description below this video over to their website, as well as my exclusive promo code for 10% off your purchase. I encourage you to hop on over, get yourself a set, and stay connected on all your outdoor adventures. So now the problem with this yoke system, and it has to do with sizing, which is a major issue. Now I am 21 inches on my torso length. I've been that for years. I've bought more packs than I can count in the large to extra large size range that can fit that torso. And as a quick pro tip, I always make sure that whatever pack size I'm getting will give me at least 1 inch above what I measure at and 1 inch below what I measure at, because I've had packs that I've had to go up to 22 inches to get it to ride properly, and I've had to drop it down to 20 inches before to get it to ride the way I want. And so that's what I did and ordered a large, which gives you 20 to 22 inches of torso length adjustment. Perfect. Loaded up at the house, seemed to fit okay. You know, you don't really know until you're fully loaded on trail and actually get to moving a little bit. So that's what I did. And as I got in about a mile, I realized this is sagging significantly low on my hips. This is not riding the way it should. So without much difficulty, because the adjustment system is this little ladder system that's pretty intuitive and easy to adjust, I adjusted it down to 20 inches. Not the end of the world, it's just a little frustrating. I had to do it on trail. As I continued to traverse, I realized that is not doing the trick, and I need to go 1 to 2 tiers lower down to get it to ride properly. So the rest of the trail up and the whole trail down, this pack was not properly riding on me and was too low, sagging over my hip bones and going about 1 inch down my crack on where it was riding. So I was very frustrated that the sizing was that off. I came home, I got remeasured at a local sporting goods store. I was for sure 21 inches of torso length. Thankfully, I bought this through Backcountry, which happens to be one of our affiliates. I called them up. They were willing to hook me up with a replacement in the medium size range, which gives you, just was double checking, 20 to 18 inches of torso adjustment. So I just paid under $10 in shipping, sent back the used large one, and they sent me this brand new medium size one. And they did not know I was part of the affiliate network, so they just treated me like a normal customer, so that's awesome. So I'll have links to Backcountry as well, regardless if it's this pack or other gear in general. I couldn't recommend them enough. They've taken care of me a couple times that way, not knowing that I'm part of the affiliate network, which is awesome. So I adjusted it to 19 inches since we know 20 wasn't right. I loaded up with 30 pounds, went fishing on a day hike with my dad, and that is the right adjustment. Now it feels great. Oh my gosh, it feels so awesome. But that means it is 2 inches off in its torso measurement size. And if you're like me and you're like 21 inches, that is a fluke. And I don't know if other people have experienced that. Leave a comment below if you have experienced that with this yoke system. But I would definitely be aware of that, and potentially if you're right on that kind of cusp of between like 20 and 21 inches, I would recommend going with the medium-sized frame, and that will more than likely be the right size, because it was for me and I had to drop it 2 inches. Now as we move around to the body, you have this hoist suspension system which runs all the way from the bottom, that red strap that crisscrosses all the way up and then is able to be disconnected, which is great not only to really cinch down and dial in the compression of the entire bag, but it's also great for lashing larger items like tripods or monopods for, say, a tarp, or how you might structure your tent system, whatever it may be. And we have 2 huge water bottle pockets that are relatively easy to access if you're on trail by yourself. They're not the best, there are better designs out there, but they're dense in their upper lip support, and they're large. I could actually get 2 48 ounce Nalgene's back to back in these pockets. Then you got your nice dump pocket right in here that you can stuff. So that's actually one of the main reasons I went with this over my previous used pack, which is my Osprey Rook, because it did not have any mesh pocket back here. It's just dead space. I think it was designed to have like a day pack strapped on or something. I gotta have some sort of stuff pocket. So this is a large, good, flexible stuff pocket for raincoats and sandals, things like that you may use. Then it has behind that a zip pocket with mesh that goes the whole 2/3 of the way down. This does not come with a rain cover. You have to buy that separately. That is where you would store that if you don't really need it. It is a water resistant pack. We did have some passing rain showers twice on trail as well as while we were there, and it was able to shed that really well. But if you're in a downpour, it's gonna get through at some point. So take that into consideration that this does not standard come with a rain cover. Some people like it, some people don't. Then you have 2 large compression straps and a 3rd little one to hold the top lid on the back side and really cinch it down. Then you have 2 more on the front. You can completely remove the lid if you want to, cut down on weight, or what I did, I just kind of used it as my organizer bag around camp, carrying my different supplies and just kind of throwing some stuff in there, which was kind of nice. You have a top water resistant zipper that allows you to put large items. Like I had my full med kit and survival kit on the top lid, and then you can flip that over. You have mesh, and that's where the key keeper is as well. So that would be better designed for like your wallet, phone, and keys. So that's how the system is. And then that goes right into the cinch down collar with a clip. So you could do some, I would say a narrow tent. It could be compressed like a one-man on top if you want to. Now 63 liters, I was a little concerned. I usually go 65, but the 63 liter size was easily able to accommodate what I now carry even with my filming equipment. And what's really nice is that the collar is extendable up another 10 liters. So you can actually technically make this into a 73 liter pack if you wanted to really stuff this out and you had larger, bulkier items, as long as you weren't maxing out that 50-pound load bearing capability. Now, one of the ways they cut down on weight a little bit is that it is only a top loading pack. There is no secondary zippers on the side or on the bottom to access things on the bottom. So I don't mind that at all. I rarely use those secondary pockets. I usually just do top loading all the way down. You do have a large water hydration sleeve that can easily handle a 3-liter water bladder, as well as a very large port to easily run those hoses through. The fabric is a grid designed ripstop nylon. You can tell it's lightweight but durable. On average, this goes for about $300, which is the going rate for about 4-pound technical packs from Big Agnes and Osprey and Mystery Ranch, and across the spectrum, they're right around that $300 price point at this point. Thankfully, I scored it on a sale. When I'm making this video, there's actually a sale over on Backcountry for this pack that I believe it's going for $225 if I remember correctly, which is I believe what I paid for it as well. So if you can score this for in the low 200s, I think there is a lot of capability. Pushing 300, you'll have to determine for yourself, are some of the features that I highlighted worth pursuing, or is it better to go in a different direction because of some of the nuances, particularly with the yoke, that you're now aware of? That's up for you to determine for yourself, but if this is something you want to go with, I'll have those links in the description again below. So ultimately, guys, now that I have the yoke dialed in, I'm really pleased with this pack. It's going to go on more adventures with me because particularly that hip belt and the accessories I can use it for. It's good load bearing capability while still cutting some weight for me. So I invite you to leave a comment below, ask any questions that you may have that I didn't highlight in this video, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. And if you already own this pack, what's been your experience, particularly with that yoke system? I really want to know if that, like, I'm just a freak and my body is really weird, or if that more people are experiencing that. And I just appreciate you guys coming over today. I hope this video has been fun, entertaining, but also informative, giving you the data that you need to make a wise choice the next time you're ready to pick up a multi-day backpack. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.